Hello guys, I'm Paris the Options guy and welcome back to today's video, and I hope you guys had a great Christmas that went by and a happy new year too, because the coming week we have the new year that will start. And so happy new year in advance, because again we will meet in the next year after this. Okay, I know, a lame joke, but anyways, today we don't really have much to talk about, but still there are a few things that a few developments that have happened in our market, and also we have a new IPO that we need to talk about. And I'm also going to talk about how Nifty will be celebrating Christmas, but after the Christmas is done, by being a lot more red, right, in the market analysis part of this episode. So do not miss it, because it is going to be pretty important. But yes, without any further delay, let's just start with the episode. So nothing really happening in the previous week. Everybody was in a Christmas mood and everybody was also on holidays. So no interesting news coming out, except for one news that was pretty interesting, and that will be pretty interesting for all of you option traders out there. And that was that MSE, the stock exchange, Metropolitan Stock Exchange of India, has received approval from SEBI to start options trading in again, right? And that is going to happen on Friday of every week. So they are going to bring back options trading. So basically, now we had two exchanges, right? NSE and BSE, right, in which you could trade options. Now there is a third exchange coming, and that is the MSE exchange. MSE or MSCI, you can just decide which one you want to call it, and that is Metropolitan Stock Exchange of India. Okay, and they are deciding to bring back options trading, and they will be bringing weekly expiries of the SX40 index, right? SX40 index, and they will be bringing options for this index, weekly options for this index on every Friday. Now I don't know why they chose the day of Friday. They could have chosen maybe Wednesday, because on Friday we already have Sensex, right? So bringing one more expiry on that doesn't really make sense from a gambler's perspective, who is going to who just needs more and more opportunities to gamble. But yes, this MSCI index, right, it was pretty defunct and now it is being revived, and it raised 238 crores this week, out of which a lot of brokers have also put in money, like Zerodha and Grow. They were in the limelight, and there was also one more, Share India Securities, which is not a broker, but they are a prop firm, right? So they've also invested in an exchange, right? So this is very interesting. Anyways, as of now we don't really have any more interesting news, because any more developments, because first of all, if you go and see in any of the brokers, you will only find two exchanges, which is NSE and BSE, and yes, the commodities exchange also, MCX and all that stuff. But for equities you will only find NSE and BSE, right? So you will not find this MSE exchange as of now. But these brokers will this exchange will be introduced in brokers in the coming few days, maybe, also because they've said that from January 1st they will be changing the date. So I don't know when Zerodha and Grow will introduce MSC exchange, but I think by next week we should have much more clarity on how things will be, what will be the lot size, what will everything be, the specifications, right? So in next week we will discuss this in more detail. But this is one thing that you should know, that we will be getting one more index where you can lose your money. Just kidding. But yeah, that was it for this week. Nothing really else happening. Now let's move on to what is going to happen in the next week. Now next week we don't really have anything to look forward to, because again we have the New Year's Day that is coming next week. So that's why people decided, let's just take it chill for the next week also. So yeah, our markets are not closed. Please keep that in mind. Don't think that just because it's the New Year's Day, the our markets will be closed. However, the US markets are closed, so you might see a little bit of a calmness in our markets also for the next week. After 1st January, I think then the volatility or other things will start to pick up, the activity will start to pick up. Although I think volatility will be there, but you will see low volumes, because in a lot of foreign countries there are holidays. So because of that, maybe FIS might be deciding to not trade while they are sipping on pina colada on some island. Okay, so anyways, that is it for the next week. As I said, nothing really to look forward to. So let's move on to the IPO that is coming next week, and if you should apply to it or not. Now moving on to the IPO that is coming next week, we have only one IPO and that is Indo Farm Equipment, and it is a 260 crore IPO. The IPO will open on December 31st and will close on January 2nd. And one more thing is that out of this 260 crores, 184 crores will go to the company and 75 crores will go to the promoters who are selling their stake. So first of all, let's talk about from the listing gains perspective. Should you apply if you only want the listing gains? And as of now, the answer is yes. The GMP is at 39.5%, meaning pretty much at 40%, which is acceptable, and you can apply to this IPO for listing gains only. Okay. However, if the GMP by the last date of the IPO, if the GMP crashes, maybe goes down to below 30 or something, then you should definitely not apply to this IPO. Only if the GMP continues to stay near 40% or above it, it is a good bet to apply for the listing gains. But now let's move on to the fundamentals of the company and should you invest in this company. So what this company does, first of all, let's talk about that. So this company is engaged in manufacturing of tires and cranes. Okay. The cranes that you see on buildings and stuff, the company also makes those. Okay. And the company actually has two brands, which is Indo Farm and Indo Power. So this Indo Farm one makes tractors and other farming equipments, also harvesting equipments, and this Indo Power one mainly makes cranes and stuff. Okay. So uh, if you see, one thing is that these guys also have a good export business. They export to many countries like Nepal, Syria, Sudan, Bangladesh and Myanmar. One thing if you'll see is that they don't export to big huge countries or developed countries like US or countries in Europe and stuff. They mainly export to countries which are developing or underdeveloped, right? Which is a bit of a bummer, if you would expect this if you would expect a company to export, you would expect them to export it to countries which are bigger than us, like US, or any other country like US, UK, Canada and all that stuff. Okay. But anyways, no problem. um, it is still a good thing that they are exporting and not just they just don't have an import business. Okay. So aside from that, now let's look at how are they performing in terms of their financials. So if you see, in the last 3 financial years, revenue has grown very low, very slowly, right? If you see, in FY22 revenues were 352 crores, in FY23 they went to 370 crores, and in FY24 they went to 375 crores. So very slow growth. At the same time, profit after tax also seeing very slow growth, right? If you see, in FY22 profit after tax was 13.7 crores, in FY23 it went up to 15.3 crores, and in FY24 15.6 crores. So very slow growth. And going forward too, if you look at the quarterly results of this financial year of FY25, the growth doesn't really seem very interesting. So from the financials perspective, the company is not really doing very well on all fronts. If you see, the basically on all fronts the growth is pretty slow. Now one thing that we can argue is that as they are raising this money, right, they will also, first of all, what they will do is that they will pay off a little bit of their debt, which will aid in net profit margins increment, right? But I don't think that will be very huge, but still there will be a good increment in the net profit margins. Okay. On the other hand, they will also put a little bit of money in their NBFC subsidiary. So on everything that they make, they also provide financing. Okay. They also provide debt services, right? Because if it is a very big purchase, some people prefer to buy it on debt, right? If it is a crane and stuff. So they will also put a little bit of money in their NBFC, in their subsidiary, which is Baroda Finance Limited. Okay. So basically this subsidiary operates to provide NBFC services to its clients. Okay. So I think this will also aid their profits a little bit, but still I would say don't really be very optimistic about it as of now. So overall, this company is a bit, in my opinion, not that great. And considering the growth and everything, the pricing that they are asking for the IPO is not that great. So in my opinion, don't invest for the long term in this company as of now. Maybe if there's some sort of a good, you can say, development going forward in the future, then we can consider. But as of now, not really worth it. Don't apply for the long term. However, as I said, you can apply to just get the listing gains, but aside from that, don't apply, right? So that is it for the IPOs of this week. Now let's move on to the market analysis for the next week. Now talking about the market analysis for the next week, if you see Bank Nifty moving up 1% over here and Nifty moving up almost again 1% also over here. So this was a short week because of which we didn't see very much momentum. So next week the opening will be first of all very important, and it doesn't look that good because if you see now this is Friday 12:58 a.m. Sorry, Saturday 12:58 a.m. So US markets are about to close their week right now, and it doesn't look that good, right? If you see in the daily charts over here, Dow Jones down 0.7%, S&P also down, and Nasdaq also down very heavily. So we are mostly going to open with a very good gap up on Monday. But what you need to see is the price action over here. If we see the markets haven't seen very good buying at this level, and as I said that if the markets really have to move up from here, we will see a very good buying, which we have not seen. So chances are, looking at this price action, is that we might see another leg of rally on the downside, at least till this support of 49,000, you can say 49,700 to 49,500 in Nifty, oh sorry, in Bank Nifty, and in Nifty till the support of 23,400 to 350, okay? And this level is very important, as I said in the previous week also, this level is very important. If this breaks, chances are markets will go for a rally, and we will probably see first of all 22,000 on the downside, even 21,800 on the downside, and then we will probably even see a much bigger fall if this level is not held, especially 21,200. If 21,200 is not held, markets will officially be much more bearish in the coming times, okay? But one thing that you need to see is that if 23,350 is broken, then we will also officially be entering into a downtrend, because markets will for the first time be making a lower low over here, right? If you see, markets will for the first time be making a lower low if this level is broken. Now what we need to see next week is that first of all, how is the price action on Monday? In my opinion, mostly the price action should be negative even after opening, because if you see what Nifty has done over here is, if you see over here, right, what Nifty has done is that it has given a fake breakout, right? It went above 3 days, the high of 3 days, broke it, took stop loss of all these sellers, and now it has closed below that. So one thing that you need to keep in mind is that whenever a trap is made, the selling or the move is very fast, okay? So what you will see is that on Monday, after opening with a gap down, we'll probably open somewhere near 23,700 and all these levels, right? All we need to do is wait for a small pullback, and any sort of negative price action that you see at higher levels, you can take a selling position over there till the target of 23,000, 23,540 to 550 on the downside. This will be your easy target. You can also aim for 23,500, no problem at all, because markets over here will be pretty bearish, and I think we might even see markets coming down till the support. Now one thing that you need to keep in mind is that if it is real selling, okay, what you will see is that this support will be broken very fast, okay? This support will be broken very fast in one go itself, right? Maybe after that markets might come and give a pullback, okay? But yes, maybe not in one go. Maybe markets might stop for a day or two over here, but we should not see any sort of massive buying coming like this, like we saw over here, okay? We should probably again see a little bit of consolidation and a breakdown. We should not again see massive buying, because if we see a massive buying, then chances are that markets will then probably be in this range for a while and then maybe break down over here, okay? So all you need to do first of all is look at how the market is reacting near 23,350 to 400. That will be a very important range. Now talking about Bank Nifty over here in the daily charts, if you see, same thing as Nifty over here, not really being able to push higher over here, right? So for Bank Nifty, we have much better place as compared to Nifty, because in Nifty we have pretty much like about 400 points on the downside, you can say, but in Bank Nifty we have a lot more space, right? If you see, almost like 1,500 points on the downside. So Bank Nifty has a much bigger space to capture. So what you can do over here is very simple. If we go into the 15-minute chart, Bank Nifty has not been able to give a fake breakout over here as compared to Nifty, but still this sort of momentum is also indicating that there is not a lot of strength in the market. So we will probably open somewhere near 51,000 on the downside or 50 and 100, this area. So we will not take a selling position immediately. What we need to look at first of all is what is happening after opening. Okay, so I'm going to make this support zone over here for you guys. Okay, we'll probably open near the support zone over here. So what happens over here is very important. Does the market first of all break this support zone? Let's say we open over here, break this support zone and then give a pullback. If that is happening, what we need to do is look at how the market is performing near this zone. If we are seeing very good selling, we will then go ahead and take a selling position from here. Okay, now other thing that can happen is that markets might open at the support zone and see a very good buying coming. And then if this happens, if markets see a very good buying coming in, then the best place to take a short position will be 51,250 to 300, this area. And over here is where we guys can go ahead and take a short position till again first target of 51,050 on the downside, and then you can also keep bigger targets on the downside. Okay, so I hope you guys understand. So as I said that this week will be very crucial. We are already going to open with a gap down on Monday. So what you need to look out for is how is the markets performing? How are the markets performing near major supports that are present on the downside? Because if these supports are not held, then there is much more pain, and Nifty is going to celebrate Christmas for the rest of the next few months if these supports are not held. So I hope you guys understand how the market is going to perform. And yeah, that was it for the market analysis for the next week. So yeah, guys, that was it for this week. Again, a short episode because we didn't really have anything to talk about. Again, holiday season. So go enjoy with your family. Okay. If you don't have a family, go enjoy with your friends. If you don't have friends, go meet some new strangers and have a little bit of fun in life, because holidays are for having fun. So go out, have some fun, and we will get back to the markets because markets are not going anywhere. The markets are going to be open for the next 100 years also, and you can always come and trade again or look at the markets again. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good holiday season. If you're not having a good holiday season, I hope you have a good time going forward in this new year that is coming. But yeah, that was it for this week. I will see you guys in another episode in another week. Bye bye.